Welcome to The Wealth Adventure. I'm your host, Cade Hammis. Today we are talking about the 5 tips to best use your new medical income. You, the new medical professional, healthcare professional, you for the first time after studying hard and having no income, possibly living off of ramen noodles for whether it was 6 years, 8 years and beyond, you now finally have income that you are able to live your life to the fullest. And now the question is, what should we be doing with that income? We out there reading and we're listening to others saying we should be saving 15+% of our income. We should be paying off all of our student debt. We want to save for a house, but we feel obligated to wait and rent. Where in there is money for me, for you to be able to live and enjoy your life? And so today, I just want to address a few of those things. The first one up is retirement savings and how much should you really be putting away? The old general rule of thumb is 15% or more. You're pretty early in your career and you've got a long time before retirement. 15% might be a lot more than you need to put away today. You might have much greater flexibility to put away money later. So if you have a whole lot of debt and you're wanting to save for a house, you have all these priorities, at least get your company match. If your company matches 50% up to like the first 6% of your salary, that means you put in 6 and you get an instant 50% return on your contribution because your company is going to put in 3%. That's just something that you shouldn't give up on. Number 2, student loans and should I pay those off? The wonderful thing about this career is they have something called public service loan forgiveness, and a lot of healthcare professionals, they are working inside of government facilities or they're working for nonprofit hospitals. And so from that standpoint, you might be able to go try to qualify for PSLF, Public Service Loan Forgiveness. If that is something that you're checking into, just make sure you cross your T's, dot your I's, because it is a very difficult thing to qualify for. But if you do, the rewards can be fantastic, because at the end of your 120 payments, theoretically you would get the rest of your loans forgiven. And if that's the case, if you were going for that, the goal is to pay the minimum required by PSLF and that platform so that you can get the most forgiven later. If you're not going for PSLF or any of the others like the rural loan forgiveness or some of the others that are potentially available to you, then it just becomes kind of like any other loan with a few nuances. It's a little bit higher interest rate just because it's not secured. It's more like the personal loans in the 6 to 10% range. When you start looking at other debts and should I pay those off or should I save for retirement? If you're looking at personal loan rates of 6 to 10% or even worse, credit cards, where you're paying 20% interest rate, absolutely pay those off. I can't stress enough, pay your credit cards in full every month. That should be your focus. But if you're down with like an auto loan or something similar where it's secured and so you've got a much lower interest rate, like 3 to 5%, chances are you're better off to start saving a little bit more and start planning for your future. Number 3, having peace of mind when an emergency happens. You know, we've been living without income and we haven't had to worry about not having an income. But as you start working and you start getting expenses, then and you need that income to be able to live your life, all of a sudden you don't have the same peace of mind you did before because now things can pop up. Whether it's a medical bill, could have always have popped up. But if you own a car could break down. Your house, something could happen and you need to come up with money for that bill. And so that's why the emergency reserve is so important. If you're looking at things like credit card debt, I would much rather you focus on getting the credit card debt to go away rather than worrying about getting your emergency up to that rule of thumb of 3 to 6 months. But once you got rid of some of that really high debt, I would still maintain at least 1 month's reserve. But once you've gotten rid of that really high debt, all of a sudden now I want you to focus on your emergency reserve. That way you can have peace of mind, you can sleep at night knowing that if something happens, you can still afford to pay your bills and nobody's going to come knocking on your door trying to figure out where your money is. Number 4, saving for that first home purchase. A lot of young clients, they're looking to buy their first home, and a lot of young people have put this off because we have student loans to pay for, we have retirement to pay for, and it's a whole lot of things pulling your income in different directions. What I've been telling some of my younger clients, and this is individual to each person and their situation, but it's okay if you need to push off some of your retirement savings. Like I said, I would still get your company match, but it's okay if you're not getting the full 15%, 20% to be able to put away for your retirement. You can make that difference up a little bit further down the road. If you need to save for that 3.5% first time home buyer's down payment, you can do so. Go ahead and do so, and just know that once you have enough for your house, then it's time to buckle down and start putting more towards your retirement savings. The last tip I have for you is don't forget to live your life. Too many people get caught up with personal finances, and they want to be that millionaire, the one that can drive the sports cars, and they want to be doing that by the time they're 45 and be retired. And so they're going to buckle down. They're going to treat the last 8 years of their life where they studied nonstop and maybe didn't have fun because everybody else is having fun. They had to stay home and study for the medical exam. It's time to start living a little bit. You never know what is going to happen in your life. I would hate for you to buckle down so hard that you don't enjoy any of your life and planning to retire at 45, and then all of a sudden at 44 something happens and you don't get to enjoy anything. I tell my clients, you know what, if you have a desire to do things like backpack across Europe, there is no better time than when you're young and healthy and you can go off and do those sorts of things. Enjoy your life too. It is okay. You have time. You can make up the difference. I'm not saying don't be saving for retirement. Don't be doing those things, but you have time to make up those difference. So thank you. I hope you enjoyed these 5 tips, and we'll catch you next time.